Konnichiwa, minasan. O genki desu ka? Welcome to my channel. Let's learn Japanese with Eric. If you would like to learn Japanese for work, travel, or simply personal interest, please subscribe to my channel and watch the videos in chronological order. All lessons are written in both English and Japanese, so if you read Japanese, you can follow along reading the hiragana alphabet. If you haven't learned the hiragana yet, you can learn them all in one afternoon by going through lessons 1, 2, and 3. Otherwise, you're perfectly fine following along using the English transliteration. So let's begin. Hajimemashou. In this lesson, we'll put together some light conversational Q&A that you'd most likely engage in during social situations. You'll learn how to say your name and age, as well as ask that of the other person. Talk about the country where you're from, where you live, how to say phone numbers and social media addresses, your educational level or profession, your favorite subjects and foods, and your hobbies. Many of these dialogues have been touched on in our past lessons, so they will be familiar to you. Have pen and paper ready to jot down education, professions, foods, and hobbies that apply to you. And feel free to repeat after me whenever I speak in Japanese to give yourself some practice. To ask, what is your name, we say, O namae wa nan desu ka? O namae wa nan desu ka? Namae means name, and the O that is put before it is an honorific. Now, since honorifics are always applied to other people and not to oneself, this makes o namae refer to the name of the person you are talking to, meaning your name. There's no need to say anata no namae, which also means your name, but instead we use the shorter and more elegant o namae. And of course, the interrogative pronoun nan means what? O namae wa nan desu ka? What is your name? And to answer, my name is Eric, in Japanese that is, Watashi no namae wa Eric desu. Watashi no namae wa Eric desu. Watashi no namae means my name. Note that we don't say o namae to refer to one's own name because the honorific o is for other people. If your name were Mark, you'd say, Watashi no namae wa Mark desu, and so on. It's quite common to be asked, which country do you come from? And Japanese ask, O kuni wa doko desu ka? O kuni wa doko desu ka? Kuni means country, and again we put the honorific o before it to refer to the country of the person you're talking to. Then doko is the interrogative pronoun, which means where. O kuni wa doko desu ka? Where is your country? My country is Canada, and in Japanese that is, Watashi no kuni wa Canada desu. Watashi no kuni wa Canada desu. Note that the honorific prefix o is removed before kuni to refer to my own country. If you're from another country, just substitute Canada with the name of your country. It's pretty much the same in Japanese, but just give it a Japanese pronunciation based on their hiragana katakana alphabet. In the next slide, we'll look at countries for which Japanese uses special names. These are countries with special names in Japanese. China is Chugoku, Chugoku. South Korea is Kankoku, Kankoku. North Korea is Kitachosen, Kitachosen. The US is Amerika, Amerika. Germany is Deutsche, Deutsche. It comes from Deutsch. Thailand is Thai, Thai. The UK is Igiris, Igiris, which is basically England, and Argentina is Argentin, Argentin. The rest of the countries are pretty said as they are, except with the Japanese pronunciation, which is bisyllabary and uses the characters in the Japanese alphabet. Philippines is Philippine, Vietnam is Vietnam, Mexico is Mexico, and so on. To ask how old are you, that's Anata wa nansai desu ka? Anata wa nansai desu ka? Nansai means how many years old. You can also ask by saying O ikutsu desu ka? O ikutsu desu ka? Ikutsu means how many, and putting the honorific o before it changes the meaning to how old, referring to the other person. To say your age, simply say the number in Japanese and add the suffix sai. For example, to say I'm 16 years old, that is, watashi wa 16 sai desu. Watashi wa 16 sai desu. 20 years old has a special term, hatachi. Hatachi. You may want to review our previous lesson on numbers, counting, and counters. To ask where do you live, in Japanese, that is, あなたはどこに住んでいますか? あなたはどこに住んでいますか? Doko means where, and the particle ni indicates entry. When you live in a place, you enter or belong to that place. Doko ni, where do you belong? Then we have the verb sundeimasu, which means living in. This verb is in the progressive tense because living in a place is an ongoing action. The original verb is sumu, which means to live in a place. I live in Toronto, so I say, 私はトロントに住んでいます。私はトロントに住んでいます。Just substitute Toronto for the city where you live in. If you live in Vancouver, you'd say, 私はバンクーバーに住んでいます。To ask for someone's phone number, we ask, お電話番号は何番ですか? お電話番号は何番ですか? 電話番号 means phone number, and the honorific o before it indicates we're referring to the listener's phone number. Nanban means what number. Saying phone numbers follows this pattern. 私の電話番号は何々々の何々々の何々々々です。The particles no separate the number of the trunk line from the area code. For example, if my phone number were 647-215-9830, in Japanese that is, 私の電話番号は647-215-9830です。私の電話番号は647-215-9830です。Because of the popularity of social media these days, you may want to exchange social media information. To say, can you please tell me your social media? In Japanese, you say, あなたの何々を教えてください. The particle wo indicates the direct object of the verb, and our verb 教えてください means please tell me. Please tell me what? The name of your social media. So for example, if you want to know someone's Twitter, then you'd say, あなたの Twitter を教えてください。あなたの Twitter を教えてください。Or if it's Facebook, then it's あなたの Facebook を教えてください。あなたの Facebook を教えてください。To say, my social media 何々 is 何々, in Japanese, that follows the pattern 私の何々は何々です。For example, 私の Twitter は@Eric Nihongo です。私の Twitter は@Eric Nihongo です。If you're in school, you'll get likely asked, what grade level are you in? In Japanese, that is, あなたは何年生ですか? あなたは何年生ですか? Nan means what, and nensei means year level. The word for junior high school is 中学校. To say, I am in junior high year so-and-so, you'd say, 私は中学校. Then you say your year level, whether it's 1年生 for first year junior high or grade 7, 2年生 for second year or grade 8, and 3年生 for third year junior high or grade 9. If you're in third year junior high, you'd say, 私は中学校3年生です。私は中学校3年生です。If you're in senior high, you'd use the term 高校. And again, same case, first year high school is 高校1年生, equivalent to grade 10. Second year senior high is 高校2年生, equivalent to grade 11. And third year senior high is 高校3年生, equivalent to grade 12. If you're in grade 12, you'd say, 私は高校3年生です。私は 高校3年生です。If you're in university, you'd use the term 大学。大学。Again, we have 1年生、2年生、3年生, and 4年生, and so on for the year levels. If you were first year university, you'd say 私は大学1年生です。私は大学1年生です。If you're not in school, it's common to be asked what you do for a living. In Japanese, the question is お仕事は何ですか？お仕事は何ですか？仕事 means job or work, and the honorific o before it indicates you're referring to the listener's job. Here are some common professions or shokugyo. Don't forget to write down yours. A company employee is kaishain, kaishain, or sarariman, sarariman, from the English word salaryman. A teacher is kyoshi, kyoshi. Sensei also means teacher, but that is how you address a teacher, and it's rare for a teacher to refer to himself or herself as sensei, because it's an honorific title. A lawyer is bengoshi, bengoshi. A doctor is isha, isha. Dentist is haisha, haisha. Doctors and dentists are both addressed as sensei in Japan to show high social status they have in society. Nurse is kangoshi, kangoshi, which refers to both a male and female nurse. Kangofu refers to a female nurse. Accountant is kaikeishi, kaikeishi. Engineer is engineer, engineer. And a policeman is keisatsukan, keisatsukan. A researcher is kenkyusha, kenkyusha. A clerk is jimuin, jimuin. And a consultant is a consultanto, consultanto. A bank employee is ginkoin, ginkoin. A self-employed person is jiegyo, jiegyo. A farmer is a noka, noka. And an athlete is a sportsusenshū, sportsusenshū. A writer is a sakka, sakka. A singer is a kashu, kashu. An actor is haiyu, haiyu. And an actress is a joyu, joyu. A manga artist is a mangaka, mangaka. A politician is a seijika, seijika. A florist is a hanaya, hanaya. And a butcher is a nikuya, nikuya. To say your profession, I am a so-and-so. In Japanese, that is, watashi wa nani nani desu. For example, myself, I am a Japanese language teacher or Nihongo no kyoshi. So I say, watashi wa Nihongo no kyoshi desu. Watashi wa Nihongo no kyoshi desu. Now let's talk about academic subjects or kamoku if you're a high school student, or a specialized field or senmon if you're a university student or academic. Stepping back a bit, if you're a university student, you're typically asked, what's your specialization, or go senmon wa nan desu ka? Go senmon wa nan desu ka? Senmon means field of study, and the honorific go added before it clues you in that you're referring to the field of study of the person you're talking to. Or if you're a high school student, you may be commonly asked, what is your favorite subject, or anata no suki na kamoku wa nan desu ka? Anata no suki na kamoku wa nan desu ka? Suki na kamoku means the subject that you like. You've encountered the adjective sukina during our previous lesson on likes and dislikes, as well as on na adjectives. Let's look at common academic subjects, which can also be fields of specialization. Keep pen and paper handy to note down 3 courses you like and don't like, which you'll need in our dialogue. The Japanese language is Nihongo, Nihongo. English language is Eigo, Eigo. And the French language is Fransgo, Fransgo. For other languages, you simply take the name of the country and add go at the end to indicate the language. Italian is Italiago, Spanish is Spaingo, and so on. The Chinese language is Chugokugo, Chugokugo. The Korean language is Kankokugo, Kankokugo. And the German language is Deutsgo, Deutsgo. Math is Sugaku, Sugaku. Music is Ongaku, Ongaku. And science is Kagaku, Kagaku. Art is Bijutsu, Bijutsu. Geography, Chirigaku, Chirigaku. Astronomy is Tenmongaku, Tenmongaku. History is Rekishi, Rekishi. Civics is Shakai, Shakai. And gym or physical education is Taiku, Taiku. Literature is Bungaku, Bungaku. Economics is Keizaigaku, Keizaigaku. And medicine is Igaku, Igaku. Home economics is Kateika, Kateika. Biology is Seibutsugaku, Seibutsugaku. Physics is Butsurigaku, Butsurigaku. Chemistry is Kagaku, Kagaku. It uses a different kanji than Kagaku, which means science. Geology is Chishitsugaku, Chishitsugaku. Statistics is Tokeigaku, Tokeigaku. In the following answers, I'd say things that apply to me, so feel free to substitute my answers for yours. Say my field of specialization were the Japanese language, so I'd say, Watashi no senmon wa Nihongo desu. Watashi no senmon wa Nihongo desu. My favorite subject is math, so I'd say, Watashi no suki na kamoku wa sugaku desu. Watashi no suki na kamoku wa sugaku desu. If I want to say I have two favorite subjects, math and Japanese, I'd say, Watashi no suki na kamoku wa sugaku to Nihongo desu. Watashi no suki na kamoku wa sugaku to Nihongo desu. The particle to means and. To say my most favorite subject is biology or seibutsugaku, I would say, Watashi no ichiban suki na kamoku wa seibutsugaku desu. Watashi no ichiban suki na kamoku wa seibutsugaku desu. Ichiban means number one, and ichiban sukina means most favorite. To ask what subjects don't you like, in Japanese we say, Anata no kirai na kamoku wa nan desu ka? Anata no kirai na kamoku wa nan desu ka? Kirai na means hateable or unlikable, and kirai na kamoku means subject or subjects you don't like. To say that the subject I don't like is the French language, in Japanese that is, Watashi no kirai na kamoku wa Fransgo desu. Watashi no kirai na kamoku wa Fransgo desu. What about you? What's one subject you don't like? And say, in addition to French, I don't like chemistry, in Japanese that is, Watashi no kirai na kamoku wa Fransgo to kagaku desu. Watashi no kirai na kamoku wa Fransgo to kagaku desu. Just replace the blanks here with the two courses that you don't like. And to say that my least favorite subject is statistics or tokeigaku, in Japanese that is, Watashi no ichiban kirai na kamoku wa tokeigaku desu. Watashi no ichiban kirai na kamoku wa tokeigaku desu. Just substitute the blank here with your least favorite subject. Now let's tackle your favorite or least favorite food or tabemono. To ask what's your favorite food, in Japanese that is, Anata no suki na tabemono wa nan desu ka? Anata no suki na tabemono wa nan desu ka? In my case, my favorite food is sashimi. So in Japanese that is, Watashi no suki na tabemono wa sashimi desu. Watashi no suki na tabemono wa sashimi desu. What is your favorite food? In addition to sashimi, I also like hot pot or nabe ryori. So I'd say, 私の好きな食べ物は刺身と鍋料理です。私の好きな食べ物は刺身と鍋料理です。So, what are your two favorite foods? And to say that my most favorite food is sashimi, I'd say, 私の一番好きな食べ物は刺身です。私の一番好きな食べ物は刺身です。And what about you? What's your most favorite food? To ask, what food don't you like? In Japanese, you say, あなたの嫌いな食べ物は何ですか? あなたの嫌いな食べ物は何ですか? Say, I don't like hot dog. So in Japanese, I would say, 私の嫌いな食べ物はホットドッグです。私の嫌いな食べ物はホットドッグです。And if I don't like pizza and hamburger, in Japanese I'd say, 私の嫌いな食べ物はピザとハンバーガーです。私の嫌いな食べ物はピザとハンバーガーです。What about you? What are two foods you don't like? And if my least favorite food were donuts, I'd say in Japanese, 私の一番嫌いな食べ物はドーナツです。私の一番嫌いな食べ物はドーナツです。What is your least favorite food? Now let's talk about hobbies or 趣味. To ask what is or are your hobbies in Japanese, that is, あなたの趣味は何ですか? あなたの趣味は何ですか? Here are some common hobbies. Basketball is バスケットボール。バスケットボール。Tennis is テニス。テニス。Golf is ゴルフ。ゴルフ。Most sports are derived from English and spelled in katakana. Swimming is 水泳。水泳。Hockey is ホッケー。ホッケー。And video games is ビデオゲーム。ビデオゲーム。Karaoke is カラオケ。カラオケ。It's a Japanese invention and is a contraction of the word kara, which means empty, and oke for orchestra. Gardening is 庭仕事。庭仕事。Niwa means garden and shigoto means work. Reading books is 読書。読書。These hobbies are expressed as verb phrases. For example, watching movies is 映画を見るの。映画を見るの。映画 means movies. Then we have the direct object particle wo, which answers the question what of the verb. Our verb is miru, which means to see. See what? 映画 or movies. And the whole phrase is nominalized or turned into a noun phrase using the particle no. Sorry for the grammatical terminology, just keep it all in the back burner of your mind as we'll revisit these concepts in future lessons. Cooking is ryori suru no. Ryori means cooking as a noun, and suru is the verb to do. Ryori suru means to do cooking. Drawing or painting is e wo egaku no. E wo egaku no. E means picture or drawing, and egaku means to draw or paint. Play with my dog is aiken to asobu no. Aiken to asobu no. Aiken means pet dog, and the particle to also means with. Asobu is a verb and it means to play. Then the whole thing is nominalized using the particle no. To say play with my pet cat, that is petto no neko to asobu no. Petto no neko to asobu no. Petto is from the English word pet, and neko means cat. Raising fish is sakana wo kao no. Sakana wo kao no. Sakana means fish, and kao means to raise animals. My hobby is swimming. In Japanese, 私の趣味は水泳です。私の趣味は水泳です。 To say I've got two hobbies, swimming and playing with my dog, in Japanese that is, 私の趣味は水泳と愛犬と遊ぶのです。私の趣味は水泳と愛犬と遊ぶのです。The first particle と means and, while the second particle と means with. You'll know which function of the particle it is through context. So if you put these all together, we can make a dialogue about ourselves. We only have to say watashi wa a few times because all the information will be about ourselves. Let's pretend I'm a 16-year-old grade 9 student living in Toronto. So my monologue would sound like this. はじめまして。私はエリックです。16歳です。国はカナダです。トロントに住んでいます。電話番号は647-701-2398です。私の YouTube チャンネルはエリックス日本語レッスンです。私は高校1年生です。一番好きな科目は生物学です。好きな食べ物は唐揚げと刺身です。趣味は水泳と絵を描くのです。どうぞよろしくお願いします。So that was my monologue. Are you ready with yours? So to recap, in this lesson, you learned how to ask and answer common conversational questions. We tackled our and other people's names and ages, the country we come from and where we live, phone numbers and social media addresses, year level if in high school or university, and people's professions, our favorite subjects and foods, as well as subjects and foods we don't like, and finally, how to express hobbies. So that ends our conversation guide. Use these right away to break the ice and make new friends in Japan. If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly on. So please click like, share, or subscribe, and watch the next video in the series. 日本語の勉強に頑張ってください。じゃあ、またね。